Sarah's table. Pew, pew, pew. Finger guns. It's a finger guns day. I think it's always a finger guns day.
I've never seen you not do finger guns.
I have to do the finger guns. Pew, 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 pew.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah Moore. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm going to be your host tonight and your storyteller and probably your favorite person. I'm going to remind you to have some water because it's hot in our area of the world. Gemma, you can drink coffee. It is.
Oh, yeah, there's water in this. I had to put water in it to make it an iced coffee. So
yeah, and that didn't sound defensive at all.
I have had water before
in my life,
I assume.
Good. This is good. I like how we're starting.
My insides are perfectly healthy and normal, actually.
Yeah.
Good.
Same.
But all nodded in agreement. I saw all nods. So
that's true. That's right.
Don't
slow nervous nods.
now.
Nailed it.
Nods against our will.
Yes. Hey, it's a very special episode because today we are starting an arc of The Crowned, which is a game that I made with Damon Vanhee, who's also here. And we have had the book be endorsed by a very credible source saying that it is really high in the slappability scale.
Mm-hmm.
That you can use it for slapping.
Print that on the back of the cover there.
Right on there. Yeah, I know. You know, we're just going to have to. I know we already printed everything, and there's a couple of quotes, but I feel like it's missing one. So we're just going to add right there on the back.
Just handwrite them before they go
just
out.
Every single one. I love it. It's going to be good. Let's do a quick safety discussion. This game can get real weird. It could get weird and body horror-y, and it can get surreal and pretty frightening because everybody's playing a god, and there is a good chance that like you're gonna encounter stuff that is gross or scary. So here on Sarah's table, you will never find sexual violence, violence against children, withholding food as punishment, or starvation. I've also added in the caveat that if an animal is attacking you, you may attack back, but we do not kick the neighbor's dog. Is there anything that my players would like to avoid in this arc?
I guess I kind of one of those things that might have to be said because we are gods, but like, I mean, flex your power how you want, but like maybe not in a way that is genocidal.
Yeah,
that would be great. Yeah,
no genocide. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Yeah, definitely not that. Also, sort of taking away agency, mind control is a thing that we generally try to avoid. Normally here on the show, it's really like happy-go-lucky, slapsticky fun, and not that is not something that can happen here in this game. I just know that sometimes it gets a little bit darker, so we will keep an eye on all of those things, and if at any point any of you are uncomfortable, you can throw up an X. It's very easy to see in this recording, or you can message me privately in the chat, or you can text me, or you can say out loud, like, found it, nope, no thank you, and we'll just go another direction. Okay, I would love to go around my table and have everybody introduce who they are, what their pronouns are, and maybe how you ended up here for this recording. I'm gonna start with B.
Like how I ended up here. Like,
yeah,
from the beginning.
Hey,
from the beginning of
whatever
time.
that means to you, B.
All right, well, hello, my name is B Zelda. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm pretty sure I was born somewhere in outer space, crash landed onto Earth in a, one of those escape pods that you do with babies.
Yeah.
And
you do for baby.
You know,
That is how
My tiny
I
little
heard,
egg capsule.
that is
Yeah.
how babies are born. That's what I heard.
yeah, facts.
Anyway,
100, at least from some planets.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, lived a life, got a call / email, because who answers phone calls, and was like,
Monsters. That's who.
Hey, yeah, not about that. And
Okay.
the email was like, hey, let's play a game. And I was like, yeah, you're cool, let's do it. And
Let's
here
do
I
a
am.
thing. And it clicked on this link that you clicked on, not a scam.
Yes, yeah.
Well done.
Not by Cantaloupe Incorporated.
It was not by a cantaloupe.
Curse you, Cantaloupe Incorporated.
I hope they're not watching. I'm gonna scoot over to Xavier. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Xavier Jackson. My pronouns are they, them. And I got here because Sarah knows some other people who I've made board games with, namely Ninth Level Games, and they invited me on to play Rebel Scum, which is definitely not a Star Wars game, even though I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
Certainly not.
Almost nothing in common.
Legally distinct.
So different. The most different, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I played that, and then Sarah invited me back for like a little Christmas game, which I played with my family over Christmas.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was one of my first times like DMing a thing, and it went well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Xavier played. Were you the Ghost of Christmas Past?
Ghost of Christmas Future.
Future. You were
Night
Future.
My name was Night Scythe.
Wow.
That's a sick name.
Yeah.
I would enjoy the holidays more if Night Scythe was hanging about. That's
Scythe?
awesome.
Yeah.
It might be the last holiday you enjoy, but you would probably very much enjoy it.
Yeah.
Hey,
They were
I'm here
supposed
for
to.
a good time, not a long time.
Yeah, they were supposed to stop themselves from killing Scrooge and setting off the apocalypse. I think dinosaurs overran the planet at one point because of their choices.
There were a lot of problems at the end of the game, but none of the problems were the initial problem we had. So
that's true. Different problems.
Amazing.
Different problems.
We actually made new problems.
Problem was resolved.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sure we're bringing that back this Christmas because it was the most ridiculous game. Thanks, Grant Howitt. All right, scooting over to Gemma.
Hello, I'm Gemma, or GFD. My pronouns are she, they, and I was found in the same wooded section of an abandoned forest that Sarah happened to be wandering in, gathering diplomas or stealing books. It's not really certain which, but we did like the Spider-Man meme and looked at each other and knew if we turned either of us in, it was like mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
So we agreed that I'd just come on and play a game and all would be forgiven. And we wouldn't talk about what we stole or what we saw there.
Yeah. That's not a thing. We both signed something in blood with a witness. She might have been a witch. I don't know.
I don't know what her deal was. I didn't think it was polite to ask, so we just went along with it.
She was floating. It was probably fine. She's probably fine. I feel great about it.
Everything's probably fine.
Not a problem. Damon, do you think that you can bring some semblance of normalcy to this? Or
why would you come to me for normalcy at any
because you're the
any
only one
ever.
left, and I'm sorry.
Well, you invited us. You did this. This is your fault.
Yeah, that's
but yes,
true.
hello. My name is Damon Vanhee. My pronouns are he, him, and I did not log out of the last Sarah's table I participated in, and I'm really glad somebody came back.
I've been here the whole time.
Just hanging out in the background.
Just chilling. It was a very long bio break. I did get snacks, though.
The longest of bio breaks.
Somebody will come over to show you how to turn off the camera at some point.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
At some point.
I don't
All
know
of
what
this
to
tech,
do.
it's very hard.
I'll just be here.
Help.
I haven't gone to the bathroom in months, please.
So long. Yeah, it's a shame. Damon did lose his job because he never reported into work.
But I heard he has a new job.
No,
yeah, I mean,
it's
Airbud rules. It didn't say I couldn't not go into work.
That's true. It's like Ken now from the Barbie movie. My job is Zoom. That's it. That's what I do. Job is Zoom. I feel like we've done so much already.
Already tired.
We haven't done anything. All right, so this is a session 0 of The Crowned. The Crowned is a should I read the thing from the back? Here we go. Let's read it out loud. The Crowned is a genre-blending, narrative-driven TTRPG where players step into the role of characters gifted the mantle of godhood. The look of the change you effect is entirely up to you. Horror, surrealism, intrigue, and fantasy are built on a backdrop of advanced tech science fiction that forms a world in which a player's imagination will shape the reality of the game. Has everybody prepared themselves for that?
I'm prepared on the fly.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll figure it out.
I believe you. I believe you, and I believe in you. I think this is going to be great.
That's good that you believe in me, given my
Dude,
godhood.
I believe in everybody here. That's why I invited you all here.
Xavier, you summon dinosaurs. I have the most faith in you.
Oh yeah.
Very good.
I think it'll be fine.
Damon, because this came out of your brain, which is a very weird and twisted place.
Welcome.
Do you think that you could give us a teeny tiny elevator pitch? Not your regular elevator pitch up in the giant tower.
A short one.
An actual elevator
little
pitch.
one. All
Yeah.
right.
I will cut you off.
Okay. How long do I have? Is there a timer on the screen?
I would like 30
Go until
seconds.
you see the little red dot going over your forehead. Then you know
Right.
it's time to stop.
Until the
That's when
music
you know
comes
it's time.
up, like
Yeah,
like where the
got it.
orchestra is playing you off.
Yeah, so The Crowned is a game where you play a god of a small sliver of reality. And the point of it is to empower players to be as creative as they want to be. Players at all tables are always weird little dudes that come up with the craziest things. And this game really embraces that. So don't be shy, I guess.
Yeah.
If you want to do something that seems totally weird and off the cuff, like that's what this game is about. You can definitely embrace that, And so we'll be picking what gods we want, and then you just have control over that as a theme.
Yeah. And there's a lot of ways that you can choose your purview, right? We do have some in the book. We do have some tables for people who maybe have choice paralysis if it's too much. But it can be something very tangible, like sandwiches or cinnamon, or it can be something that's a little bit more ephemeral, like joy or nostalgia. You can be the god of one particular cat. If you want, you can it can, anything that you can think of, we can figure out. If it's a little bit too broad, we might have you narrow it down a little bit. But this is your chance to be like, you know what concept I'm really into? Let's go for it. And it can be something that your character is super into, or it could be something that your character hates. You don't have to love the thing that you are the god of. We've had people play like the god of Post-it notes. We've had people play the god of sapphires. We've had people play the god of vending machines. And you can be very like, your brain can spin off in a lot of directions, because like the god of vending machines, when we played, he was like, so a cannon is like a vending machine for cannonballs. So I could do something with that, like you can.
It worked.
It did
wild.
work.
It was really good.
It did work.
Yeah.
So before we like dive into the process of building this, does anybody have an idea of what they might be interested in playing the god of?
The god of hair.
Love that.
I think that
Cool.
would be fun.
That's sick.
All hair, like we're talking head hair, arm hair, leg hair, toe hair, all of it.
Is it
dog hair, cat hair?
Okay, cool. So hair of any kind on anything.
If it contains something I'm gonna Google that's in hair, keratin, is that? No, that's in like crabs or something.
Keratin?
Is that in hair?
Yeah.
Keratin is in your hair as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And fingernails.
And crabs.
Also crabs?
So
Did I get that right for real?
Yeah.
It's in their shells, I believe. I think also turtles and
Tortoises.
tortoises.
Tortoises. Just
Tortoises. The group
Yeah.
of tortoises.
I have made a new animal, and I'm the god of it, and it's tortoises.
Yes.
Mhm, mhm.
We love it. We got
Oh.
hair. I love hair.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't even
that's fun.
consider being the god of something that doesn't exist.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That-
cool.
Make up your own.
I got to say, we've played this game a lot, as you might expect, and we've had close to 200 characters at this point made, maybe more. Haven't gone back to the list in a while, but we haven't had anybody duplicate their purview
Really?
like ever.
Mhm,
They're
mhm.
just, it's a new idea every time. No one has played the God of Hair or anything even close to it.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
it's
sick.
great. Yeah.
I don't want to break the streak. Only because I'm going through a cyberpunk phase currently. Can I
Yeah.
be the god of RGBs?
I
As
don't see
in
why not.
the color ranges?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to be the god of RGBs. Finally, I can match the room aesthetic I have.
I love it.
Is it like light refraction, but like specifically that light, or is it like, because that's such a there's a lot of
It's specific, but also vague.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say light with the specificity of RGBs, as that's all that she is like mastered currently.
I love that though.
Great.
With the working to control all light at some point.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I have a goal.
I have a goal.
In
Okay,
my
she's
divinity.
wizened.
Okay.
At the minute, it's restricted to gaming RGBs.
So this is what I can do. We got hair, we got RGBs.
Something that doesn't exist yet.
Yeah. No,
Weird.
I'm feeling good about this idea of
Okay.
being the
Mhm.
god of something that doesn't exist. But I am not sure if it is a thing that we know about that doesn't exist, or if it's a like thing that is entirely made up and like foreign or orthogonal to whatever reality we're about to be in.
What about the
Oh.
concept of non-existence?
I was just
The
going
god
to
of
say,
the
you could also
concept.
be the god of things that don't exist yet.
Yeah.
Great.
That's
Yeah.
An unlimited pool of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I like that. The god of things that
Yeah.
don't exist. Okay.
And so this game is like, it is balanced. So like the gods of seemingly like very disparate purviews, very like, you could volcanoes and bubblegum, those seem like they would be like very different power levels. But the way the game is balanced is like you can have those gods at the table together and it is fine. So yeah.
Well,
Cool.
it's not
Well-
fine for the city, but
Mechanically it's fine.
But why do we think about them?
mechanically it is fair for
Yeah.
everyone.
Okay. Great.
Um,
I'm excited about this.
all right,
Gods of
so we've
things
got-
that doesn't exist.
Things that don't exist. We've got
Mhm.
hair, we've got RGB lighting. Damon.
I think
I
I might
love the scale that we've got left to work with here.
It's good. It's good.
I might do salt. I
Salt.
think I'll be the god of salt.
Okay.
Ooh.
Like
Sounds
the
good.
chemical sodium, or like when it's formed
Saltiness.
into a crystal, like it's.
I mean,
All
I'm
of
so
it.
sorry for asking
I-
these weird
yeah.
details.
no,
Yeah,
but
no,
if
questions is
you,
great.
if you say it is the god of salt, then you can interpret that in multiple ways. We had somebody play the god of shade once.
Oh,
And-
like-
And they
Cast-
did both.
Ooh.
They were like, well, this is shade, as in I am literally shaded from the sun, but also I'm gonna throw some shade at
Mhm.
that
Love
guy.
it.
So like
Nice.
there's absolutely, if you're able to keep it a little vague, that is absolutely a way of doing it.
Yeah. We had
Very cool.
a playtester do the god of quacks. And when we said, do you
Like
mean
ducks?
like
Or like
ducks or
con
like
artists? Or
Or fake
unaccredited
doctors.
doctors? And he was like, I don't know yet. was like, fantastic.
Ooh.
Lovely.
Turns out it was both.
Lovely.
I'm seeing the
Yeah.
wall of doctorates come back again.
Yep.
Mhm,
As
mhm,
previously
mhm.
discussed.
Tap the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Look at my wall of fake doctorates.
I'm here for it, and then we throw some shade, and some literal shade. Okay, so we have all chosen our purviews. Very proud of you. This is going to be a wild group. What? Whatever. The next thing we're going to do is spend some points on your stats. So everybody's looking at their character sheet.
I am.
I assume. And you have 4 stats: might, reflex, brains, and presence. Might is usually physical stuff. Reflex is your agility, your dexterity, your reaction time. Brains, I feel like is self-explanatory, but I am just going to say it's your brain stuff. Seems easy. Presence is like your moxie, but also your like divinity presence, kind of. It's like how you affect the world with your personality is presence. You have 5 points to distribute amongst those 4. You can't go above a 3 in any of them in the starting phase. You can have a 0.
Okay.
If you would
Okay.
like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Might. Bye-bye. 0.
Yep, that's
Brains 0.
a girl after my own heart. I love it. Yeah, I always think it's more interesting when you shove a 0 in something, but just me. But that is how my character that we play in our long-running campaign has the tiniest of hit points, because I was like, might is, I don't need that. What do I need that for? 0.
RGBs are notoriously breakable, so
So
this
breakable.
This feels apt.
Does everybody
Okay.
feel good about it?
Got my stats.
Yep.
Okay.
I did it.
Almost there.
So tell me, we'll go around, we'll come to you last, Xavier, since you were working on it. Damon, what are your stats, please?
I have a 1 in might. I dumped nothing at all into reflex.
Woo.
And then 1 for
Ooh.
brains, but then I did a 3 in presence. I want to be big.
Just like big and slow.
Yes, big and slow.
It's fair. Cool. All right. Gemma, where are yours?
I did 0 for might, 1 for reflex, 1 for brains, and also 3 for presence, because she's got like stage atmosphere, and that's about it.
Y'all, there's a trend here.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Dubstep might.
Ooh, so I got 1 might, 1 reflex, 0 brains, and 3 presence.
There it is.
All that showmanship here.
Okay.
Great, cool, that's fine. I also have 1 might. But I have 2 reflex, 2 brains, and 0 presence.
Ooh.
You might have predicted.
Ooh.
Interesting.
it.
All right, cool.
You'll be the only one of us to survive. The rest of us are going to be doing like parades.
But no one will
showing
notice that
off.
I've survived.
Right.
Right?
I will have to say, it is very hard to kill a god. It is
Thank
not,
goodness for that.
It is not impossible, and it is not something like there are mechanics to like, well, you have gone to the point where you are like dropped to 0, but not necessarily dead. But like, it's really, really hard to kill a god. If you like, this is a conversation with your storyteller. You are choosing to allow your god to die. There's not like a, well, I rolled real bad, and so
It should have narrative impact. It shouldn't just be like, whoops, hit points are done.
Whoops.
Cool.
Hit points are
Okay.
done. We're gonna put that on a t-shirt. Whoops, hit points.
Hell
That would be
yes.
great, actually. Whoops, hit points are done.
Oh
well.
Oh well. The next thing that you have is a big list of skills. As you are looking there, you have endure, exert, fake, hit, impress, know, make, notice, sneak, and weird.
I love weird.
Weird. Yeah, weird, which is mostly all of your god stuff is probably going to be under weird.
Okay.
Esoteric, divine elements. Okay, so you have 10 points. You may do whatever you would like with those 10 points. You can always still make a check of a skill, even if you have a 0. You're
Gotcha.
building a dice pool, and so there will always be an opportunity for you to make a check. And with that in mind, there's always an opportunity for you to succeed. It just means that it's probably harder for you. So if you don't put anything into a skill, it doesn't mean you can never use it.
Cool.
So are these kind of like our bonuses to a roll, or are they?
So you're building,
different?
it is a D6 dice pool. So you will be building
Gotcha.
a pool from a stat and a skill. So like if I was asking for a presence and a weird, you would take the number next to presence and the number next to weird, and then that is your dice pool. And then rolling, looking for successes. 5s and 6s are successes.
Gotcha.
And then you're looking for a number of them, whatever I tell you at the time. Unless it's, sliding scale, like you would know more information if you get more successes, blah, blah, blah. You all know how RPGs work.
I've seen these things before.
And with that being said, is it organized in a way that, like, if you have a lot of points in might, you want to kind of focus on endure and exert? If you have like points in reflex, you want to focus on fake and hit? Maybe?
Yeah, so you could look at it that way. But this is also a game where we encourage the players to say, I'd like to go about it a different way.
Love it.
So like there's absolutely an argument for saying instead of might for let's say endure, like I would like to use brains because I want to do it in such a way that I'm like, I know the muscle structure, and so I can do it that way. I'm drawing on my knowledge for it. It might change the number of successes that I would be asking you for, but you can always try to find a way to play to your strength.
Okay.
So that's probably not terribly helpful.
No, it is. Like okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. I guess in my final question is, what capacities would we use some of these skills? Like if to exert, like, and I kind of quantify that as like your capacity to accomplish something.
Exert is like if you are trying to do like a flat out run, you were probably going to use exert. This is like swimming, running, jumping, physical things that you would probably be using your muscles for. That is not a like endure is more like you're withstanding something, and exert is you are like physically doing a thing.
Got it. Okay. I
So
also did just look at the character book, so thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
But could there also be like a brains exert for you to like take a challenging test?
Absolutely.
Or
Yes.
like a presence exert to sort of like intimidate somebody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
An
could
exertion
fall
of
under that one would probably fall under impress, probably. But there's a way that you can combine every skill and every stat.
Great.
That like and so this sometimes can be, this is a heavier lift for the storyteller. Folks at home who are watching, it's a heavier lift because your players are going to throw a bunch of weird things at you and you just got to roll with it. So I think, I think that what's cool and also frustrating about it as a storyteller is that,
and like we made a book, and like most of the rules are intended to be ignored and wiggled and like adjusted for every situation.
Yeah, if this doesn't work for you, this it's all a negotiation because it's about the story and the table and the thing as opposed to like the crunchiness. So you have 10 points. Again, nothing above a 3, please, but you can absolutely have 0s. Or you can be very
well-rounded.
Yeah, I guess, and have 1 in everything.
Doesn't sound like me.
Doesn't sound like it. Doesn't sound like this group, but I'm happy to have that happen. I think it would be really interesting to have somebody do like the god of like mean, like median, and just have like
the god of averageness,
right? Like
that
just
actually,
have
that actually
something
would be a great character.
just like something in the middle for everything.
You could always swap.
It's very like abracadaniel. I have approximate knowledge on many things.
Abracadaniel, yes.
Yes.
I'm fine at stuff.
Okay.
But consistently.
Jack of all
Consistently
trades,
fine.
but
I'm
master
so
of none.
good at doing stuff average. Cool. Okay, I think I've assigned my points, and this is a character that is not built to do any amount of physical activity.
I love it.
Ooh, noted.
Xavier, man, you gotta help me. You gotta help me here.
Somebody balance me.
I have a 3 in sneak and a
Oh,
0
yeah.
in no.
Uh-oh. All right, because you
One
if
in no and a 0
I'm
in
known,
sneak.
then suddenly it's out of my pure view.
yeah, that's
Hilarious.
fair.
True.
All
Oh,
right.
it's going to be
cool.
wild. I like that purview a lot. It's going to be fun.
How are we doing? Does everybody feel good?
Yeah, I have numbers in the right spots, definitely.
I'm feeling
all
so
right.
good about this squishy little character.
Well, squish. Xavier, can you tell me which ones have numbers next to them that are non-zeros?
Yeah, so I've got 1 in exert, 1 in fake, and 1 in notice.
Okay.
I've got 2 in make and weird, and 3 in sneak.
Love it. All right. B. How's your big dumb hero, right?
about to
Because
change
there's 0
one
for
more.
brains.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think. I gotta put a 0 in one more place.
Oh,
Let's put it in.
That's good. I can
no.
take this one if you want a bit more
Yeah.
time to think.
Can
yeah.
you? Yeah.
Hit
Yeah,
me.
of course. I've got a 1 in fake, 1 in hit, 2 in impress, 1 in know, 1 in make, and 1 in notice. Oh, and 3 in weird.
So weird group. Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
All right. Damon.
Let's see. I am shifting some numbers. Here we go. I've got a 1 for exert and hit and notice.
Okay.
I have a 2 for impress and weird. And then I have a 3 in make, actually.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I see
ready?
nodding. Did we find it, B?
I got it.
Okay.
So I have a 3 in endure, a
Mm.
1 in exert, a 1 in impress, a 2 in make, a 1 in notice, a 1 in sneak, and a 1 in weird. And I think that makes 10. I counted it a few times, but I'm not good.
Yeah, good spread.
I trust you. I trust you.
Thanks.
So now your defense will begin at 1 for everyone.
Okay.
And your damage reduction begins at 0.
Oh, right
These
there.
Ah,
these
in my-
things can
in
all
my-
be
my sundries.
yes, in your sundries. These
Mhm.
these can all be increased through bind wonders. So there's going to be my favorite step, which is where you get to pick the wonders in a couple steps. Like that's my favorite thing.
Ooh.
The next thing we are going to do is decide who among the crowned you're going to be bonded to. So everybody has access to the book. There are 10 gods in the city that are part of something called the Clade. And they are so incredibly powerful that their purview grows out of their head like a crown. And your character class essentially is which one of these that you are bonded to. And so being bonded to one of them will give you certain bonuses to stats and skills, a couple of like degree discounts, which is the thing we'll get into a little bit later. And you get a couple of, you get a wonder just given to you because you are chosen by this god. Something to keep in mind is that these gods are pretty capricious. And if they decide that they don't like you being bonded to them anymore, they can trade you like a playing card. They can just
What am I, a Pokemon? Get out of here.
absolutely. They can
Not
just
even a shiny.
they can just
Not even a shiny.
pass you off.
A Magikarp?
Or
Yes.
they could drop you entirely, and then you would be without
Oh
a
wow.
bond.
Never mind. I like being a Magikarp. I take it back.
Cool.
And if this happens, it adjusts your entire character sheet because of the bonuses that you are given with these. Now, there are 10, like we said. Axiom Capital, Caprice, Fetch, Nell, The Loop, Outcast, Rhyme, Spark, and Tempest. And they start on page 22 of your book, if you want to take a look. There's beautiful illustrations of each of them. And then each of these gods have something, like several purviews, because they're very old and very powerful. You can put yours under something that makes sense, right? So like perhaps the god of things that don't exist could very easily go under Axiom because he is the keeper of all knowledge, right? But it could also be under Rhyme, who is the god of madness. Hair could be under Spark because she has meat-based life, not plants, but like animals and
Meat-based life.
What do I have to say it? I get it, but oof, yeah.
I know. It's hard for me to say every time, but it is the easiest way to get that across. So that could be that, but it also could be like the Loop, who has aging and growth and you know things that happen in
Rhyme
cyclically.
actually says keratin on him.
Yeah, because Rhyme has fingernails. Rhyme's terrifying. He is my least favorite.
He's my favorite.
I hate him.
Damon's baby.
And it really is Damon's baby. I don't like him at all. Here he is, by the way, holding him up for folks at home to see.
Yeah, no, I like this art.
It's giving
his
the witness
crown
vibes.
are his followers' fingers, and sometimes they break off and crawl down him, and then he eats them. And sometimes, if you are bonded to Rhyme or a follower of Rhyme, you wake up without a finger. Sometimes you wake up and it's someone else's finger in place of your finger. Everything's terrible.
He doesn't keep track of whose is whose.
He's gross.
You just go back.
I deeply need one of us to pick that one.
I hate him so much.
The worst, but also the best.
Love, hate.
Yeah.
Because there's something about phobia. Because like hair is very complicated. Yeah, I really like Rhyme.
That's okay. You could be with Rhyme. Also, Xavier, you could fall under Outcast.
I'm looking at Outcast right now.
Yeah, who has sort of, they have like the leftovers and extinction and the last of something.
Ooh, there's space for thing that doesn't exist being a thing that did exist that no longer does as
Absolutely.
well.
Yep.
So yeah, so I like either Axiom or Outcast for like the opposite reasons. Axiom being like I'm almost like a prisoner of Outcast. He's like keeping me around, and so that when I find something, he like is
he can
like,
gather that,
collects it,
capture that
Yeah.
knowledge.
or Outcast so that they could, or like Outcast is just like, yeah, this is just where you belong. I see. Okay, I'm gonna figure out between those two.
Roll them around.
shortly.
This is, I think, the biggest decision that you're having.
I love the idea when you were like, oh, things that did exist now don't exist. Mike Xavier just summoning megalodons like every other day, just dropping big old like whales,
things that don't.
big old whales and sharks.
Yeah,
And I like destructive angle. You can just like make things not exist.
Oh, and that's perfect, because if I'm like with Axiom, then I am like stealing knowledge from Axiom, and if I'm with Outcast, then I'm like returning things that have been lost, and like those are like those are very cool,
Those are
different
good.
ideas for the same
Yes.
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Gemma, you've got those lights, which could, I think, fall under Caprice. Because
I'm just looking at Caprice.
Because they have chaos and gaming and
Parties.
just having wild rages every other night.
Caprice is my favorite.
I
Caprice-
do quite enjoy Caprice.
Caprice's coat is made out of their favorite chair. They just decided that they loved it so much that they didn't want to ever be without it, so they made it into a coat.
I like that.
You know what? I'm not going to question Caprice's motives. I love the party vibe. Good for them. Good for them.
Yeah. Caprice's
Sit down.
crown,
They're sitting in their favorite chair.
Caprice's crown is liquid. So sometimes it's blood, and sometimes it's whiskey, and sometimes it is other bodily fluids.
Oh,
All of them.
no.
Yeah.
Some good, some less so good.
Some less so good. Yeah. Also, when you're bonded to Caprice, you get a wonder called dip a toe in, which means you can identify a liquid by touching it. And literally every single time anyone has ever used it, they lick it. And we're like, no,
You got it.
you don't
You
have to
got
do
it.
that. You can just touch it. Like it's
It's such a
literally called
human
dip
thing.
a toe in. And they're like, right, but like which is why?
Is that how you swim? Is that how you test a hot tub? By like, I'm gonna lick the water
Do
to see
you
if it's warm
not?
enough? Like, no, you just put your toe
Hasn't
in
been
it.
cleaned recently. Delicious.
Universally, players are like, nah, I'm gonna eat it.
I'm
Though.
gonna eat it.
Chlorinated. Delicious.
Yeah.
I am going to go with Caprice. I think they fit the vibes the best.
Nice.
I've chosen Outcast.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, so we got, and are you sticking with rhyme?
Oh yeah.
Blah. Okay, that's all right. It just means that maybe things will show up and it'll be bad for everyone.
What's the worst that could happen?
Is driftwood that washes up on their island. And if you look at the art that's there, they're actually like missing the top of their head. And so their crown starts much lower. And it's like a chalice full of sand that is
Just
continuously spilling out and just like pouring all over them all the time.
They
Big
need a
Tilda
Roomba.
Swinton
Things
vibes
are
when
being
we
lost
were
and
designing.
forgotten.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Damon, who are you bonded to?
I think I'm gonna pick Nell.
Oh, god of death and business, Nell.
Yeah.
Death and taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nell started as just the god of death, and then realized that like people slowly kill themselves every day at the office. And so he killed that
Is
god.
he
and took him.
anti-capitalism or pro-capitalism? I can't tell.
Very pro.
Very pro.
Very
God
pro.
dang it.
Very
Damn
pro.
it, Nell.
Yeah, he sucks.
He's the worst. All right. And I would just like to argue that none of these are good. Like none of the crowned gods
But all
are
suck a bit.
Yeah, they're all bad. Like they're never ones that you're gonna want to be like, oh, this is
bestie.
the nice one. There's no nice one.
Mhm.
No, there's no nice one.
Yeah,
People-
power corrupts.
Well,
Yeah.
people see
None of these are your friends.
the loop as the nice one, but probably only because she's pretty. Honestly,
It's
like,
because she's nice to plants and has a thing with animals, but she also has a thing called murder gorilla. So
yeah,
Yeah.
that's Spark.
Spark,
Spark has
murder
murder
oh,
gorilla,
that's
that's
Spark.
great.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the wrong one.
No, that's
yeah,
okay.
Lupa's green thumb again, which sounds lovely.
It
But also,
does.
everything that lives has to die, so I can see
Yep,
the
yep.
Mhm.
We
circularness
all
of
have
it.
seen Poison Ivy.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool looking. Don't want to touch it.
Don't want to touch it. So
I mean,
you
no,
shouldn't
what? You
want
were
to-
right the first time.
you
You were right the
shouldn't
first time.
want to touch it. If you go to your Clade's page, there's a little section that says being bonded to provides the following bonuses. So you're going to get a bonus to one of your stats, which if it pushes it above a 3, that's okay. You get a couple of bonuses to skills. Again, it is okay if those go above a 3 at this point. And then you get something called degree discounts, which is essentially how you are going to be building your spells, your divine powers. When you're trying to do something, you do a rote about it and you build those from scratch. You tell me how far away you want it to go and how long you want it to last, and all of those degrees add up, and then that is how you do a spell. So there's not a spell list in this game. It is just, this is a thing I want to do, and then together we build it, and then you pay the cost with your divine essence.
Because we could never have written like a spell book for every player has played something different entirely.
Right.
Yeah.
So
cannot
make a
imagine.
mark
Chaos.
of those, and then you also get a bonded wonder. We already talked about how Caprice gets dip a toe in. Outcast, you get
Take my ball.
take my ball and go home.
I love it so much.
Beep beep. Nell gets access the archives in sarcasm font, where you can talk to a corpse.
Yeah.
Sick.
Axiom has access the archives, which is where you can just like ask a question,
Ask
and
a
if
question.
the answer is written down, you get that answer. And then Nell is a prick.
Is
a
a big
I
jerk,
like
and
that
so
it's
he's
like,
the access the archives.
archives.
It is required. We did specify that in order for you to talk to that corpse does have to have a head. You gotta
Not a
be able
body,
to
though.
not a body. Doesn't have to have the body,
Just
but
a
you
head?
need the mouth parts. Yeah, and I think that's everybody. Oh, Rhyme he gets scratch. Is that the one that you have with Rhyme?
Multi-tool.
No,
Oh,
multi-tool is
multi-tool.
first level.
That's
So I got long fingernails, but
Yeah,
like, I
with
feel like
your-
my iteration would be like, I'm just gonna unlock stuff with hair, you know?
yeah.
Mhm.
That counts.
Same
Absolutely.
idea. It's all
So-
keratin.
Where do we write these down? Sorry, Sarah.
That's okay. So on your second page of your character sheet, there is a whole big section for wonders.
Okay.
So your wonder goes there. And then on the first page of your character sheet, there's all of the little bubbles. You see
Yep.
down there at the bottom with the degrees and the names, and then all the little 10 bubbles next to each one. You could
Gotcha.
just, if you have a tier 1 in whatever discount it's given, conjure, damage, whatever you got, just circle in that one little bubble.
Just trying to find that now. Where's Caprice's stuff?
Caprice is on page 27. That's where
Got
their
it.
stuff is. So you're gonna up your reflex. Hey, I think you had a 0 in reflex. Was it 0? Oh no, it was might. My bad.
I've got a 0 in might. I got a 1 in reflex though.
Still got a 0 in might. But they gave you a little bit of exert, so could be worse.
Sorry, I'm not sure if I'm just like being obtuse. Where does it say that?
On page 27.
Yep. Got
So
next to the
Caprice.
picture.
right next to her picture, it says being bonded to Caprice provides the following bonuses.
Oh,
Are we missing it on yours?
Axiom, Level Wonders, Omens.
Oh, are you looking for Caprice? Or...
Oh,
I
are you
think I'm
looking-
stupid. Because I've got like Caprice and then I've got the dip a toe in that shouldn't have happened. Jinx left the party.
Oh,
Just
I think you're
above
back
them
in the
page.
wonders. So you need to go back to the section that shows all of the gods in their full spreads.
In the PDF, it's page 14.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I
I'm on
got
page
you.
27 and that only has this.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Sweet. Thank you so much.
You should see them in there. Yeah, there we go.
I was
Yeah, got
the
it here.
physical book copy
Yeah.
is on page 27, but I just didn't know.
Oh,
Yes.
good. Oh, good.
Yeah, I
Thank
think
you
I
so
sent
much.
everybody the spreads rather than the individual pages. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think the 2-page spreads actually look really good. I see why you would send it like that.
Yeah.
we got a lot of
It's
2-page art
gorgeous.
in it.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
got lots of 2-page art. Everything
No,
is
thank
very
you so
important to
much.
stay together. Okay, so when everyone has made their notes, the next thing that we are going to do, beep, 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 is to choose your sanctum. This is your place of power. This is your place where you can focus and you have a very strong personal connection. This could be something like your house. Or it could be something like a park bench, a particular park bench. It can be a phone booth. It can be a tea shop. It can be anything that you feel like. The god of cinnamon runs a bar, and his sanctum is his Cinna bar.
Boo.
So good.
Shout out. So like I play the god of joy. My sanctum is my house. But we also had the the god of Was he sleepiness? What was he? Sloth? Laziness. God of laziness. And his was a park bench by a duck pond, a very particular one. This is where I would go. So it can be anything that you would like that is appropriate to your purview.
I think my sanctum is the void or the abyss or something that is in fact outside of reality. And I think I am forgotten when I am in my sanctum.
Ow. I love that.
That's such a sick idea.
It's like your mind palace. You just like you just
I
go
love that
in.
you're really like messing with Eldritch horror vibes
Yeah, like
on like a mental level, and I really dig that.
Like I'm thinking about there's a Marvel character called Forget Me Not, whose power is you cannot remember them unless you were looking at them. And I think that a little bit happens when I go to my sanctum.
Yeah.
They're like flashback reveals in comics are always really great, where you see the X-Men fighting stuff from decades ago and like, oh, they were there the whole time.
He was there.
Yeah,
I like that you went like the really like sort of cool way. And in my head, I was like, right. So like in how in Mystery Men, he could only be invisible if no one was looking at him. Is it working? Don't look at me. Now I'm definitely invisible. Yeah.
What level are the wonders that we got from the gods?
Level 1.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you have a level 1 bonded wonder. All right. So does anybody know a site? So we've got the void, or whatever we're choosing to call it, that you can't remember about. We've got that one. What about hair, RGB, or salt? Where are your sanctums?
Ooh, I'm thinking like a hair salon or a barbershop.
Love it.
Yeah. What's the hair salon?
Cool.
I love that.
Come up with a name, maybe.
It's gonna sound really catchy, really cool.
It's gotta be a good hair pun in it.
That's gotta be. Curl up and die.
There's gotta be
hair
something.
Done. Good.
The jokes just write themselves. I feel like naturally I'm leaning into like the little hermit gamer vibe of this god or goddess. So I feel like it would be like a den, like a gamer den, or like an internet cafe kind of deal.
Yeah. So both of those are good. So is it like your personal one, or is it a cafe where there can be other people?
I think it's a personal one designed to look like your like classic internet cafe. but only she's ever there.
Sure, of course.
So there's no hogging on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
It seats 40, but it's all yours.
Yeah, but it's all yours.
It seats 40. And she's got everything is just spread out. All the Baja Blasts are spread out across each of the tables.
There's so much Mountain Dew.
Every time there's too much Baja Blast in one spot, just moves to the next one.
Scoots down. And very Alice in Wonderland, like clean cup, scoot down, just boop.
Yep. There's like a different flavor of Mountain Dew on each table.
Gosh. So
yeah, a little the hub is a neon lit den designed to look like your classic internet cafe.
Love it. Okay. Salt?
You think we're going to be playing Divinity level 5, like top level stuff?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I am going to have a small house structure building thing right on the edge of the city.
Ooh.
Like closer to the ocean than on the top.
So we're going to talk about the city pretty soon, but just as something to sort of keep in mind, this city is balanced on a tiny little spire several miles over the ocean, and it just has a drop off at the edge of the city limits. It's just
a flat disc.
Yeah. And so sometimes, depending on where it is, that's water will be like cascaded off of it, and sometimes it's just held up. Somehow it was moved out over the ocean when the clade essentially decided that it needed to be out there. There's a lot of crazy backstory lore, which we will get into a little bit, but not a whole lot. So we have done our sanctum. And our next step, which is going to be kind of a big step, is wonders. And your wonders are literally everything that makes your character unique. Wonders were our favorite thing to come up with because we got to be very clever with some of the names. You guys are going to be level 5 divinity. So when you build your character from level 1, you get 2 level 1 wonders and 2 level 2 wonders. And that's where you stop. But we're going to give you a bunch of extra points that you can buy all of these things with. There are 10 levels. Everything is broken up into 10s, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to start and like get all the level 1 wonders before you can move up. There are some that are tiered, but they are absolutely marked as such. But if you had the amount of points, experience points to buy it, you could skip directly to all the 10th level wonders and just take those. This is where you can get things like weapons, armor, familiars. You can also get things like you're cutting out.
Worshippers also.
Worshippers, yeah. Your mic is doing that thing where it's not picking you up.
Being dumb, Mike.
Yeah, worshiper, the followers, things of that nature. But you can also buy more degree discounts, which makes your spells cost less when you're trying to do it. You can also buy things like you can upgrade your defense and your damage reduction with armor and stuff. There are so many things in there. So I am going to say, I don't know what page it starts on in the spread that you sent them. In the physical book, it starts on page 44. So maybe 22?
22.
I think 22, 23. Yeah.
Oops, sorry, yes,
22.
you got it. I was trying to agree muted.
Yeah. So this is going to take a little bit of time, and I actually feel like this is maybe a wonderful time for a bio break. So before we head into the bio break, does anybody have any questions about anything that we have done thus far?
How much experience do we get for these?
Yeah, how many points do I get?
So we have never let anybody do level 5 divinity. So I don't know.
This is a suggestion in the book. There's back in the storyteller chapter.
You can do some math to figure it out.
Oh, my least favorite thing.
Same.
Math.
I like to push it on other people.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Other people being you now, Sarah.
Oh yeah, there it is. So the suggestion for divinity level 5 is, and keep in mind, the game only goes to 5. Yeah, it's 350
XP.
That's so many.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, you're going to need some time. Also, there is a section in the Wonders chapter, the Wonders little section, that says bonded wonders.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
That means that you have to be bonded to that played member in order to qualify to buy those wonders. So, so like, you know, we'll look at probably all of the Caprice ones. The first one that's there, you get for free because it is your first one. But then the other ones will cost money. Now, if it says you got it for free, it says it costs 1 XP, but like you have already gotten this. That is not. So you don't have to pay that 1 XP, although you have 350. It's probably fine for you to pay 1, but you don't have to. So check out all the ones that you have that are bonded. Some of the higher ones are truly terrifying. One of my very favorite ones.
Party.
Yes. Is the 10th level wonder Incarnate. It's bonkers. Where you manifest your purview so strongly that you injure the people around you.
Whoa.
You just are like doing it so much.
That's when
Um,
Xavier summons a megalodon on all of
Yeah.
us.
Or I like create an orb of non-existence and like this part of the city ceases to be
Oh,
remembered for an
correct.
amount of
God.
time.
Yep.
I love
Like
it.
I think the physical embodiment of me of like incarnate is in fact like this
Boom.
like singularity that slowly grows and everything in the singularity like stops becoming.
Yep.
Mm.
So yeah,
You're
it's
right.
a
I'm actually into megalodons right now.
it's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, so we're gonna take a quick bio break and we're gonna come back and we're gonna figure out all of this stuff. And then we're gonna have a conversation about where we're gonna set things. And this is our players might have to go home and continue building the amount of things that they have because it's
Cool.
just so many experience points. But yeah, so go grab yourself some ambrosia and we will be back in a couple of minutes.
All right.
Ta-da. Welcome back from the break. Jeff said I have to make my movements real big. I've done it. Ba-ba, ba-ba-ba. Ta-da. Welcome. We had a discussion on the break about how it's not fair for me to ask them to pick 1,000 wonders in the next 45 minutes. So
Sarah agreed would only pick 900 and wait, that's less. Oh no, math.
Oh,
The
math.
math's already failing.
Nobody here is the god of math. It's fine.
Right. Not your peer review.
Don't worry about it.
I did almost pick that one for the record.
God of math. Amazing. So we're going to skip that step. That's going to be a thing that we are doing outside of the stream. That I will be around for chatting, but we're gonna just like get a thing, so it'll be fine. So we're gonna do the next step, which is calculating your health and your aether and your replenishment, and skill specializations if you have any. So your health pool is your divinity, so that'll be 5 plus whatever you have in might. Plus whatever you have in endure times 4.
Oh, plenty.
Which is a minimum of 4.
I have 0 in might and 0 in endure.
Okay, so you're going to have 20. Your divinity times 4, which is 20. This represents the amount of health that your squishy human body has, because all gods were human at one point. If you are attacked, you're going to be able to soak up that attack with your aether, which is your god juice. It's how you fuel all your divine stuff. It is also how you can stop an attack from, I mean, I suppose you could choose to let it hit your squishy human body. Seems like a weird choice, but I don't know. You guys are a weird group, and like maybe that's what you're into.
I think you'll find I'm a 3 in weird, so this is the program working with you.
Well, Bill's right. Speaking of which, your aether pool is your divinity times 50. So everybody is going to have 250 divinity to work with.
Ooh.
So much.
It's so much. Here's the thing about aether is that it does regenerate, and it regenerates slowly. This is not I take an 8-hour nap and it is all back kind of a thing. So it is a little bit about resource management. The bigger and showier and splashier and more further away from your purview center you want to do something, the more aether it's going to cost you. And then it slowly regenerates. So it's going to take some extra time. You might be out of juice. That doesn't mean that you can't still do skill like checks. You can still do skill things. You just wouldn't be able to do any of your like rotes, your divine spells. We're going to calculate your daily aether replenishment. Now, because you have not chosen all of your things, all of your wonders, this might change a little bit, but we'll go over it before we get into anything. But your daily aether replenishment, if you are a god, you start with 10 back a day. You are bonded to a crowned god, all of you are, so you're going to have another 5. You're going to add how much you have in presence, your rank in presence will add to that. And then we will revisit depending on if any of you take a bunch of worshippers. The more worshippers you have, the more they give you a day. And then you get to decide who those worshippers are, which is very fun. When I was the god of foxes, I had like a little Girl Scout troop who were called Fox Scouts, and they were my worshippers, and they replenished me. But then when I was the god of collars, I had a sex club. So it
Sick.
depends on what you get.
Those are the only two options.
Oh, that's it. Those are the options.
I'm gonna have a small horde of League of Legends players.
I love it.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
that mean legit.
So
that
much
would be so
salt,
good.
So much rage. I
Is,
love it.
is
So
the collective
much
noun of
rage.
is the collective noun of League of Legends players a riot?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a
Yep.
riot of. I'm gonna have a riot.
Yeah,
I'm
if
gonna
we
start a riot. I'm gonna
if
have
we
a
did
riot.
other MMORPG players, like you could have a blizzard of them, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
a lot.
We
uh-huh,
can. This
uh-huh.
is
yo.
it, guys. This is it.
Killed me.
Peak. We've reached it. So we also then have to do your skill specializations. You get a skill specialization, 1 per each rank in brains.
Uh-oh.
And your skill specialization is, if you look at your skills, I don't think you get any. I'm so sorry.
I did get a brain for my god.
Oh, then you do get one.
Hey.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you go over to your list of skills. You cannot specialize in a skill that you do not have at least 1 rank in. So one of the ones that you have. And then you would pick something that like is just a little bit further underneath that one. So like if you chose hit, let's say you have at least 1 rank in hit and you're like, I'm going to specialize in something in hit. You could do like, you could pick your favorite weapon. You could have kicking down doors. You could have bar fights. Something sort of specialized underneath that.
Okay.
If you chose something like no, you could do like current events or solving puzzles.
Or spelling.
Spelling, absolutely. Grammar, it could be something like that. I have notice as joy. I have notice and guilty pleasures, like something that you can sort of zero in on. And mechanically, the way these work is normally your 6s explode. So if you keep getting 6s, you can just keep rolling. With
Love
this skill specialization, if you are able to convince the storyteller that you should be able to use it, on your first roll, both your 5s and 6s explode. So it gives you a bigger opportunity for more success.
Could I do something like, say, impress and have like vibe curation? Like
Yes.
knowing what a person needs for like the moods, like aesthetically?
Yes.
Sick. I'm going to do that. Vibe curation.
You had 1 in brains?
I did have 1 in brains.
Oh, you do as well.
And
yeah, I've only got the 1 brain.
One brain cell.
That's all I got.
And it's bouncing like a DVD menu.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're maybe sharing it. It's maybe the same one that you each have.
Mom said it's my turn on the brain
I get to
cell.
pen the brain.
Ugh. Yours
I-
only when it's RGB.
But I
get it for
need
the other colors.
it.
Mom said we have to share.
My group chat literally just
Gosh.
made that same joke last week. It was very fun.
It's an age old. It's an age old.
It's-
I'm nothing if
it's
not
fun.
a retread of old jokes. Sick. Okay.
How many brains do you have, Damon and Xavier?
I have
1.
2.
1 and 2. Okay, so we're not diving too deep for things.
Yeah, I'm thinking for make, I am gonna have a specialization in remaking a thing that is forgotten. And so
Oh,
it has to be like ideally a thing that is like actually forgotten, but I am a little bit better at making that thing.
Great.
And I don't know where my other one is yet, but I'll figure
I
it out.
love that.
Oh, I got it.
Tell me.
It's fake.
Mhm.
And it's saying that I've made a thing that and convincing you that it was a like thing that is actually real. And so it is like I can make things that are
Gaslighting.
forgotten. Yeah, I can make things that are forgotten, or I can fake things that are real because it's like I couldn't make the real thing because that exists already, but I could make something that you think could have been the real thing.
I
You're
love that.
making off-brand. I can't believe it's not butter version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Xavier, we have this at home. And Xavier's like, I know we do. We got this
Yeah.
one.
Store brand at home.
Yeah.
All right, Damon, what is your Juan?
I'm looking at, so this might be sort of a question, Sarah, to you about tone for the game that you are hoping to play. Because
it's going to be really awful, right? Is that what I'm saying?
Naturally, we play this game very differently, you and
Yeah.
So I was thinking, as the god of salt, to have some of like my plan is I'm probably going to buy a bunch of worship wonders and have a lot of followers and stuff like that.
Sure.
I was thinking about some of them being desiccated mummies.
Gross.
And so like my most prized priests and things like that would get like all of the moisture drained out of them. But if here on Sarah's table, we want something a little peppier than that, I'm happy to put it into like sculpture or something, because I was thinking potentially also like salt buildings and things.
No, it's okay. We can make it be gross. It's just going to be my brand of gross. That's fine.
That's great.
If we go one level up from desiccation, what's that?
Dehydrated?
Just very thirsty.
Just
So thirsty.
Dehydrated candies.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to put
parched.
it in impress, and I'm going to do intimidate, kind of a reputational intimidation.
Yep, that makes sense. All right. So now we need to do a couple of final details for your characters. We need your character's name, description of what they look like, and which district of the city that you live in. Now, naming conventions, not really a thing here. We don't really have naming conventions. So you could just take whatever your human name was and you can go by that. Some people like their character to just go by whatever the name of their purview is. Or you can choose a separate name that you took like when you ascended to godhood. It's like my character's name is Lark as the god of joy, but we also have Eat Was Better Than, which is the god of nostalgia.
I was gonna say
Goes by Eat Was. And then like the god of cinnamon is named Reuben. So like it's a big whatever you want. Or I can just call you by your purview name.
I think I'm actually going to go buy salt.
Salt. Great.
Yeah.
I think my character, conventionally it would be named Aurora, but her gamer tag is XXX_Ada XXX underscore XXX.
Yeah.
She'll go by either.
Yeah. Perfect.
Outrageous.
She's just the worst, and I love her.
I think I might go by like Liv, as in short for Oblivion.
Ooh.
That's good.
So good.
Yeah.
Just looking at what hair is in different languages.
Yes. But like tress or tresse, something like that. I'm playing a lot of Baldur's Gate, so I'm just thinking Tressum.
That's so funny. Got like pillow, cheveux, cabello, sack.
Also good for different reasons.
Could be like I'm being reminded of Medusa, and like that is a like character who is very connected to hair. She could be like part Medusa, like Dusa, which is like of course like a lovely Hades reference.
Yes.
Dusa, but like hairdo.
Oh my god. Like
oh, I like
dash.
that. Yeah.
Dusa.
Yes.
Writing it down.
Love it.
So silly.
And your physical description, I'm going to say you can, as you are building all of your wonders, that's something that we can figure out, and I'll have you introduce it next time at the beginning, because like you can take things like wings, you know, so like I don't want you to like make those decisions now before you have built them up.
Tiny little like tiny duck wings, itty bitty baby useless
could be
wings.
tiny wings, could be real big wings, could be, we have a god of bottles who has wings made out of broken like beer bottles. Like there's, you can make
that's
whatever
That's
you
so
want.
body horror and cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's all good stuff. And so the last thing that you would be doing is deciding where in the city that you are from, probably also where your sanctum will be from, in the same part. You are living in a city called the Shining Garden. It is giant. It is split up into 10 districts. Each district has a very particular look and feel to it. You do not all have to be from the same district. You as gods can know each other from any part of the city. Like, I don't feel like anybody should be boxed in. One thing that I do want you to think about is that there are millions of gods here, and there are also millions of just regular folk. All of those non-divine people will potentially be your worshipers and that kind of thing. But there are consequences in this game in a way that, like, if we're doing, say, a D&D sort of wandering through the world, and you come in and you solve a problem by doing a whole bunch of devastation, and then you leave the town and you're like, we helped, bye, and then you go away. You have to live here. You live here. These people that you could be affecting are your neighbors and your loved ones and your friends, and your bonded, you know, your clade member could show up in the town, in the city at any point. They are around. Probably not outcast as much.
So don't smash in their windows is what I'm hearing. Or if you're going to do it, have a really
no,
good excuse.
Here's the thing. You can. I just want you to know
there will be
that
consequences.
things will happen, because there's always going to be a god that is stronger than you in the city. And while
Cool.
we have talked about the fact that like gods are very hard to kill, they are definitely able to be incapacitated in a way that would not be great for them. I want you to play the game that you want to play. Just want you to have all the information before
Just know
we
the game
start.
will play you back.
Oh, it's gonna play you back. So
I'm sure my
Last-
actions will have lovely consequences. that are
lovely
great for me to
consequences,
override.
absolutely. So the districts I would like you guys to take a look at, and the book starts on page 106, so page 53, maybe 53, 54 spread.
53, yeah. 54. Do we pick a
Perfect, thank
district or a
you.
part in the district? Because I was like Cloudwell looks cool.
Yeah, so Bismuth Station, I'm gonna go through them all. Bismuth Station is where the big train, there's a big giant train that like size of cruise ships, big train that there are people who live on the train their entire lives and never leave. It's a big, huge, it goes around on ritual rail and it fuels the city. It's a big, huge ritual circle, and it helps fuel the city. Bismuth Station is where that comes in. It is covered in bismuth. It is very queer. I like it a lot. Cloudwell, there's a lot of artists in Cloudwell. There's like a weird yellow powdery misty thing all over. It doesn't smell great.
That's Quince Tree.
Oh, that's Quince Tree Point. My bad. I'm sorry. My fault. I was looking at the thing here. There's a geyser field in Cloudwell. The Cobbles has, I'm just giving you sort of a quick overview. The Cobbles has a big stadium in it called Miracle Mansion, where people go to like duel each other. The cobbles is also where Rhyme's Sanctum is, which is an abandoned bowling alley called Pins and Needles. And it's horrifying.
That's so good, though. I might have to read that.
I like, and it's horrifying.
And it's horrifying. The end. Darling is where the rich kids go to party. It has a the only area that is human architecture. Everything else is built by gods. There's also like a Mario Kart style drag race that goes through the entire district.
Oh, that's where Aurora's living. Aurora's
Perfect.
running a nightclub there.
Love that. The Garden District is old money. It is it's very the closer you are to the center of the city, the more like well established that you have been in the city. It's a little hoity-toity. And Keats Hills is where they do a lot of growing, food production, med production, that sort of thing. There's a very questionable organization there called Vinepaw Solutions that are generally the bad guys in a lot of our adventures. Not good. Morgantown has giant towers that reach up over the power grid of the city. Huge towers. And the higher you are, the less privileged and less moneyed you are. You sometimes have to like steal your neighbor's power with like extension cords down the side of the building.
Oh, reminds me of home.
So good. Quince Tree Point.
So many extension cords.
So many extension cords. Quince Tree Point, that I was confused. That is the yellow cloud of things, which is gross because it is the leftovers of a very bad ritual. It's a god, yeah? That like it blew up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
he vaporized himself in the middle of a ritual, and now he is a dusty powder that blows all around the district.
Forever.
Oh,
And
yuck.
is very yellow. Synthword is there are a whole group of folk called Fetchborn, which are robots, and Synthword is where they mostly hang out. It's where they can go and like change out body parts and things. There are non-robot folk who live in Synthword. It's just not as many. And then Tumblebell Park is overrun with giant mushrooms because it is also a ritual that went sideways, and now it's just more and more mushrooms just slowly expanding out forever.
Okay.
Those were the elevator pitches for each of them. If nothing is calling to you at this moment, you can obviously take more time to like to read them. Tell me.
So these all sound like places that exist.
Mm.
And I feel like I'm not from any of those places.
Oh.
Or I read Outcast's little thing, and
Uh-huh.
Outcast has his like own secret island that he
Mhm.
lives on with
Correct.
everything else that has been forgotten. And so I'm either from there, or my like world building thing is I am from a place that things go when Axiom either forgets or deletes or erases them or stops thinking about them. And that can be a like place sort of like a little bit outside of it's like my like little where my like little sanctum would be. And I would be from there.
Yeah.
Or the Outcast Island.
I like that. I like the because it is not well known, but it is established canon that Axiom does adjust the timeline and get rid of things that he has decided is no longer useful. And so I like the idea of you being from a place that got deleted.
Yeah. Great.
I'm in for that.
I'm gonna come up with a fun name for that. Right now I'm going with like the Unsought, but we'll see.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, isn't that fun to say?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
that's
we'll go
good.
with, I'm
Unsought? Oh, I love
unsought.
it.
Great.
I'm so
That's
sad
where
my
I'm from.
Australian accent butchers the fun of that.
It's good. It's good. So we've got the unsought,
Oh
and
no,
we've
Cleo,
got
the unsought.
the unsought. And then we've got Darling. Where
Yes, I think Aurora would. I think her sanctum is attached to a nightclub that she would essentially run. Has anyone played Cyberpunk 2077? Kind of
I'm
like the
familiar, though.
the Evelyn Parker kind of character of like kind of knows everyone, thinks a lot of pies, running a nightclub, but then has
that.
her inner sanctum kind of attached to that, where she can just like debrief and just be alone for a while.
Wonderful.
So I think she's running that kind of like scamming the rich kids in Darling.
She seems like a bit of an introvert.
She's a bit of an introvert, really values her peace and her lights.
Yep.
But also has major FOMO.
I understand.
And is trying to balance those two things.
And it's not an autobiographical character, Gemma.
I don't know what
right?
you're talking about. Have I made a character that is just me but with god powers?
No,
and
probably
League of
not.
Legends? Who's to
Tap
say?
the sign. Tap the sign.
Tap the sign. Look at all my fake degrees. Tap the sign.
Excellent. All right. What about Dusa? Where do you think Dusa is from?
Okay, so truthfully, I just didn't really read past Cloudwell, and after you talked about the kobolds, I looked into it. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So, how prior to being a god, how moneyed do you think Dusa was? Like, is the hair salon that is your sanctum? Is it like way up in a tower?
Not like mid-tier.
Okay.
Yeah, it was accessible to like a lot of folks, and
Okay.
always busy for that reason, but didn't
Solid in the
necessarily
middle.
charge enough. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. And where is Horrifying Salt gonna be from?
I think I live in the Cobbles. I'm going to be, I think,
Also the Cobbles.
sorry, not the Cobble, Cloudwell.
Cloudwell. Swapped.
Yeah. And, but like on the backside of the geyser field that's out there,
Okay.
kind of using the god that lives there. His name is Sinter. He's grumpy. Using Sinter and the fields themselves as like a buffer between him and the rest of the city.
Mm-hmm. Because you're a grumpy old man. Get off my lawn.
Mostly because of the mummies.
Sure. Get off my mummy.
Get off my mummy.
They need to stay dry.
Stop it. Oh, they're delicate. Be careful.
Stop it. They're not figurines, they're collectibles.
Yeah, that's right.
They're
Mint in box.
toys.
Yeah, keep them in their boxes. All right. So here is I would love to chat with you all about where we might like to like set our adventure, since I ran through a little bit of what's going on with the city. I would like to know what you all are interested in for like tone. I can run any of them. One time we ran this and I made gods babysit a baby that had just come into god powers. This game supports a range. Yeah, she was the god of ladybugs, and she just kept bursting into ladybugs and then like getting into the walls and things. It was great.
Funny.
But like we have options. So I would love to have your input of like how serious heavy do you want this to be?
I would love to lean at least a little into like
Bit of
horror
Cataclysm?
light.
Horror light?
Yeah.
Okay.
Horror light could be fun.
Cozy horror, perhaps?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sure.
I
kinda
don't
like
know,
a-
what's like the emo genre, you know, like
Okay,
they're trying really
yeah.
hard to be edgy and spooky, but like it didn't really sell that well as horror. It was just kind of like, okay, we see what you're going for. It's something.
Okay.
They're like sort of in the realm of like a Knives Out scenario where it's like there has been a moida has occurred
Uh-huh.
and we are
Mhm.
all unfortunately suspects and or involved in some capacity.
Great.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that. I think it'd be
Okay.
very fun to try and accuse me of something.
And you're like, oh, that's so cute.
Because I also could have done it, and you just would never
And-
know, and that.
Well, and maybe you don't even know. If it
Ooh,
is,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Something's being hidden from the one who hides things. Oh my God, that could be.
I I love that idea
Oh,
of like there's something we're trying to figure out and we are potentially involved. I'm totally comfortable with having sort of like a little bit of unknown in my backstory
Same.
for like DM
yeah,
reveals
ditto.
that I think is like that's a fun thing that I can be happy with.
cool.
100%.
Yeah, we
I think
can
I'm just like
go.
crafting a thing that takes me in the role of the Abby Shuto character of just being like little tech nerd.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, we can absolutely do we can lean into horror. I am not generally a horror person, so it won't be like graphic or
Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
really heavy into that side of it, but we can absolutely do creep factor and like we'll figure out what's happening with it. And we'll be more on the serious side. Is there an area of the city that anybody is like, this one seems really cool and I'm down for exploring it? Or is it just like whatever you'd like? Mushrooms.
Yeah, the
Humble
mushrooms
Bell.
are cool.
That is kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah,
We love
mushrooms
a
or
tumble bell.
the town where the robot folk kind of get their parts
Synthword?
like reassigned and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
cool.
kind of cool. Like they have like a synthetic world.
Yeah, we could
But yeah,
absolutely.
the mushrooms sound sick.
All right,
I'm
cool.
very excited for
Well,
big old
I mean,
mushrooms.
and like we can absolutely also do. I will make sure that we put a little warning at the beginning, but like you know, Tumblebell is where folks go for like hallucinogens. Not surprisingly. So there could be, you know, there could be a little bit of that. If we're weaving in a mystery, there could be a little bit of that
trippy.
in there as well. Great.
I also, sorry, just noticed in
Tell
the
me.
Synthwood art, there is a robot in the top hand that has like a spider body.
Yeah.
What the hell were you thinking?
So they can literally replace their entire body, and so sometimes they swap it out for some other kind of animal, depending on what their job is, right? Like
So
This
cool.
was made for Australians.
it was.
It was made for everyone.
It was made for everyone. Everybody should buy it. It's on sale now.
Everyone.
Ooh. Where is it available?
Where can we find this? Oh no.
Oh no, you can go to our website, which is formerlyferalgames.com. It's a beautiful new website that was just made for us by RT marketers. And you should check it out and you should buy the game and then you should play it at home and then you should send us messages about how dope you think it is. That's only 4 steps. It's not hard.
Only 4 things.
Only 4 things. Do that. This is everyone aside from Damon. This is your first exposure to this game. So I know that all we have done currently is mostly build our characters, but like, what are your reactions? What are you excited about? What are you concerned about?
I love the world. I love the powers, and I love that we're gods.
Yes.
Thinking mechanically, I just actually played a different game that has this sort of like set of stats and then a set of skills, and the dice pool becomes the like connection of those two. And what I found is there's a lot of creativity because each of those like combinations is like slightly different. Like there were like sometimes you'll be like, oh yeah, I'm using might and endure because I'm like really like pressing up against something physically, but then there's the like brains and endure where you're like avoiding going crazy kind of thing, and those are like those are there's like there's a lot of space, and then like when you're trying to do something, you're like, well, if I do it with these 2 skills, it has this flavor, and if I do it with this combination, it has like it does the same thing, but it's a slightly different flavor, and that's the thing that I am excited about.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how all of you use your purviews because I anticipate that it's going to be insane.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm kind of curious about is like, sorry. Oh my God. The jumpies are coming back to fight me.
Oh,
Like
no.
every jack kangaroo here. Oh no. It's gone for the throat. I'm really excited, like B said, about the world and how cool it is. I love the like the sci-fi bend to games. I think that's, having played a lot of like D&D fantasy setting, to have a sci-fi world is sick, and I love that. I'm very curious how the purviews are going to be played, and I always find I'm one of those people that suffers from like choice paralysis and decision paralysis. So having a scope that's so expansive where you can really play around with creativity is both a stressor and very exciting.
Yeah.
Because it really is on you to come up with something creative and fun. And I think that'd be a real test of like on the go thinking, which I'm really excited
and that's
for.
my job as a storyteller, to make sure that I've laid out something that you feel comfortable like choosing things in, like this won't just be like, all right, so you guys are in a room and
Go from there.
what you want to do, probably. I promise to give you more than that. I don't know how much
Thank you,
more,
storyteller.
but something.
You're in a brightly lit room.
There's so many lights. See, you have a light thing. Is there? You want to do something with the lights?
This is word for word what's going to happen.
So yeah, I'm sorry, we've jumped the gun. This is the next session. Everybody, back it up. Cool. All right. Well, I would like you all to finish up those characters before the next session, and then also, just because it's something that I like to get for no reason whatsoever, if you could also include your character's biggest fear. That'd be great.
What a totally normal and
Probably
chill
not
thing.
important.
For no,
Yeah.
for
Never
no
come
reason.
up in this.
Yeah.
It's just for funsies, right,
It's
Sarah?
Yeah, it's a different. It's not a big deal. It's
I
totally
did see
fine.
D go. Sorry, B going. Nope.
Just writing it down. What's my
so
biggest fear?
cute.
Question mark. Ugh.
Entropy, existence. There's so many. What am I, alphabetical or chronological? What's the deal?
Where does entropy go there?
And then something that we also have for sale along with the book is a set of oracle cards that are the 10 Clade members, that are really, really lovely and put together. And I think that I probably have those on hand. And if things are going in particular directions, perhaps I will draw one and see who shows up.
Ooh. Sarah's gonna mess this up.
Yeah. But like in a fun way. Yeah, in a really fun way.
I'm actually so excited. This is a very cool game. As someone who didn't know about this game 2 hours ago, I think it's gonna be very cool.
Thank you.
I also feel like this is definitely one of those things that like I just messaged Xavier and was like, come be on this show, and like told him
that's how it works. I get an email and I'm like, yeah. I'm a teacher. I'm even on summer vacation right now, and so I'm like, yeah, totally, whatever.
I got nothing going on. Let's do this. Rad.
Just the message I got was, hey friend, I have a gaming proposition for you.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That's
and then I made a game.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm in, let's go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just got an invite. Hey, you want to play some games? Some cool people?
Yeah. Hey, friend is how I start lots of them. Hey. I feel like it's a nice sort of non-threatening way to slide into somebody's DMs. So just be like, hey, friend. Hey, what you got going on? Just click this link. I'm not a cantaloupe. I swear. Anyway.
Cool and normal.
Let's go around the table and have everybody tell folk where they can be found on social media and if they have anything coming up. And then I will release everyone back into the wild where there are little treats like jumpies that try to kill you from the inside.
I'm very excited for more jumpies.
All right, well, let's start with you then, Gemma. Who are you? What do you got coming up?
Well, when I'm not choking on jumpies, I'm G of D. You can find me on all of the social medias at G of D. Sometimes it's more easy than you'd expect, but that's normal. Just go along with it. At the moment, I'm on a bit of a hiatus from Twitch, but I do play games like Baldur's Gate and Cyberpunk. If you're in Australia, you can also catch me on the TV on Good Games Spawn Point, which is the show that I host. And yeah, apart from that, I'm around. I'm on Sarah's table occasionally, and across many other D&D one-shot sessions, as I love to come in, throw a little grenade in, and then leave.
And then leave. Sometimes the grenade comes back to get you, like that jumpy.
And sometimes I throw it and like hits a screen wall and it bounces back at me, but that's part of the fun.
It's all part of it. You never know what's going to happen. We have Gemma on. All right. What about you, Xavier? Where can we find you?
Yeah, I'm Xavier Jackson. I am hard to find because I am mostly doing my own thing, but I really enjoy coming onto Sarah's table. I really enjoy getting to hang out with some interesting new people and play some games. But if you really want to find me, I am Pancake Mix on most of the social medias. That's Pancake MX. And then yeah, feel free to like ask me questions about math or whatever. That's the thing I do the rest of the time.
Yeah. Xavier helped my oldest child pass geometry.
Aw, that's awesome.
So sweet.
He got a frantic
Can you help
message
me
from
pass
me
geometry, please?
that was like, listen, I don't think we're gonna make it. Could you please? Here's the question. I don't know how to answer it. Help me, please. And I got back like step by step, like pictures.
I remember that one. Yeah, no, that
Oh
was
man, so good. They passed with an 87. It was very exciting.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
What about B?
Yes, hello. I don't like geometry, nor am I great at math, but
Cool.
you can find me on most socials as bzelda_. I am a podcaster streamer. I think recently you can check out the podcast 12-Sided Stories, where we're doing a 4-episode podcast called The Candlestick Crimes.
Ooh.
Otherwise, the Steam Summer Sale is out too, and the game that I worked on called Pico, where you are making tea for cats, is on sale. So if you are interested in either of those things, please check them out.
I am
call it
interested
Pico.
in those things.
Cute.
I love it. Cool. What about you, Damon?
My name is Damon Vanhee. I'm on the internet, I guess, sometimes.
Currently.
Yeah,
on
you
the
can
internet.
usually find me at Damon Vanhee, but more importantly, it's formerlyferalgames.com has all of the company socials. Coming up, I have this game. This is what I do now, is make stuff for the Crown. So
Good.
that's what is coming up for me.
Great. That was
So good at these.
so
Really
smooth.
great. Really good at all of this
Excellent.
stuff.
Do it great, sweetie.
Yeah.
So
eloquent.
proud of you. All right. Cool. My name is Sarah Moore. You can find me all over the internet at Pixies and Pins. My website is pixiesandpins.com. You can find me here every Friday night on Sarah's Table on Junk on TV at 5 p.m. Pacific. Next week is going to be more Crowned all the time. Speaking of that, on July 6th, I'm going to be over on the Playmats channel, also playing The Crowned. So you can go check that out. It's at 6 p.m. Pacific. Nope. I don't know when it is. Go to my socials. That'll be when it is. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. I don't know time zones anymore.
Time isn't real.
There's too many of them.
It doesn't
It's a
exist.
social construct. Just say my name into a mirror 3 times and I will show up and run a game of The Crown for you, because that is what I feel like is happening in my life these days. Also, I am going to be sort of making the rounds. I'm playing Mouse Guard over on Perception Studio and Tuesday nights, and he's an adorable little mouse named Naylan Huckletuck, who is not actually in the Mouse Guard yet, but sure did go on the adventure without telling anyone. It is going exactly as you would expect. He's currently wearing a flower as a hat, and he's very happy to be there.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
this is my
I love
life,
him.
and I love him as well. So check me out all over the places, but mostly, on the socials. And like I said, click on a link that you get from me in your email. I promise I am not a cantaloupe.
It's gonna haunt me till the day I die. This one transaction is gonna ruin my world.
I don't know that we explained that at all. We just started saying that we weren't cantaloupes, and that's fine.
Context is not important.
Yeah. Anyway, go pick up a copy of The Crowned. I'm super proud of it, and I think it's going to be dope. And I'm excited to tell a very weird and somewhat spooky story here over the next couple of episodes. And thank you all for being here on my table. It is always a joy to have you. And I don't think we've ever had this combination before. I don't think anybody here has played with anyone else at the table. Brand new. Done it. Yay. I love making weird webby connections. And now everybody has to go behind the curtain until I let you out for the next episode.
Right.
Hey, don't take as long this time, please.
Yeah,
can we get some water as well? It was really dry in there.
I'll bring
bucket of water.
snacks. I'll put snacks in there. It'll be great.
Hey,
it is still
good.
Pride Month, so they'll
Thanks.
probably all be rainbows.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's
that'd be
all I
great.
ask.
Thank you to my editor Jeff, who definitely made us look like we all know what we're doing. Like that was all
Hi,
very
Jeff.
cool. He
Thanks,
did
Jeff.
great. You're the best. Thank you to Gen Con TV and to Peter Eckison for giving me this platform and for allowing me to tell a bunch of very weird stories that don't fit anywhere else. I kind of feel like that is my brand. So welcome to it. And I usually thank the people who made the game. It was us. Thank you, me, and you.
We're welcome.
We are both. Thank us, and we are welcome. And then I would like to thank everybody at home. It is because we get to, like, you keep watching that I get to keep doing this. And a special shout out to Marcus Mays for being our tech over at Gen Con TV, who hits the go button and makes sure that the stream actually happens. You're the real hero. Because I don't know how to do any of that stuff. Very bad at tech. Hi. So yeah, I think that's it. And I can't wait to tell more stories. And as always, keep making art and keep being art. We will see you next time.